Okay, guys, hold on one second. Y'all. If you guys heard how Denise talks, it's just funny kind of coming out of her mouth. It's great. Hey, what's the Portuguese word for y'all? What? It's just a question. Sheesh. Fine. Hey, Denise, I want you to do me a favor. Tell me, say, get on out of here. Come on, please. No? Okay, hold on. Sorry, I put in the phone. I like to have the phone in front of me so that I prefer not to peek over here because I have the chat over here on the side of the OBS. But I prefer not to look over there. But Denise is great. She's a wonderful person. She's tiny though. Denise is tiny. Hold on. So how did everybody's day go? Everybody have a good day? I hope so. I had a crappy day again. I had a Monday. This humidity is killing me. We're in triple digits here. We'll be in triple digits all week, so that'll be fun. Let's wait for a little bit, just a little bit longer. So, come on, guys, tell me how your day is. You like the sticky tongue face? Whatever, dude. I chose this subject matter because I think it's important, but I want you guys to hear my perspective of it, and I would like it if you just wait till todos. What? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Portuguese speaking mother. Denise, nobody here speaks Portuguese. I'm just letting you know that. Just saying, most people on here are American. Aw, that makes me so sad for you. Nobody understands what you're saying. It's so sad. Denise is a little slow. No, she's not. Denise is a retired lawyer, and she has an amazing story, by the way. All right, so let's just get started here, because clearly I have Todos on here. Toto. Hey, wait. So is your name Toto? Like from Wizard of Oz? Are you that little dog? I'm just asking. Just a question. Were you introducing yourself? I'm not sure. Okay. Shh. I don't know. I just work here, okay? Wow. All right. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Norpol J Gaming. And what would you hear is listening to talk. And I'm a little off, guys. I'm a little crazy. So it's okay. It's okay. It'll all be okay. It will all be okay. Cold, sunny, blue sky. Monday, yeah. Yeah, it's not cold here. I wish it was cold. It's a sunny blue sky. All right. It's awful here. It's 100 degrees and stuff here in Texas, anyway. I wanted to discuss my perspective of teamwork. And I gotta. This is one of those things that I've had to change. That I truly have had to change about myself. Sometimes people that don't know how to work as a team, they get labeled certain things, selfish, for one thing, self-centered, that kind of thing. That's not always the case. So people with low self-esteem, right? I don't understand what the point is, Denise. Dude. I did not ask to say y'all. I did not say that. Hold up. Excuse me. Hey. I said say to me. Say on here. I want you to try to say this. I actually want to see if you can actually spell this, because I can't either. And I've been around Texans a long time. Say, get on out of here. No? Okay. Then shh. Don't bother. It's a redneck thing. Okay. So anyway, so I'm gonna give you a couple different examples of different versions of teamwork and what I pick and choose out of it. Hola, Lori. What I pick. Hey, what's up, Tanya? So what I pick and choose out of everything, like, this is what I keep trying to tell you guys about asking questions. When you guys ask questions and ask for advice, it is not rejecting advice to reject some of it. You are accepting some of it. Maybe sometimes someone will give you advice, right? And it's not for you. Well, then it's not that it was bad advice. There are such things as bad advice, by the way. It's about picking and choosing what you want to use for yourself. In fact, the United States, I hate you, Denise. You know that? Just want you to know that. All right. I love you, Denise. I'm sorry. Y'all, just for clarity purposes. If you've ever met Denise, she really does look like my daughter. Like, she's tiny, man. I mean, I'm 5'7". I'm not some giant dude. But dude, she's so tiny and she's so petite. She looks like you ever see a javelin? Oh, excuse me. You're stupid, Denise. God. Hey, Denise, FF. You know what the FF means here? The FF means fucking focus. Okay? Anyway, so check this out. So, like, you can't be like the Romans. Like, you have to be disciplined when you're in the middle of a battle, whether it be physical, spiritual, mental. It's a battle, and you have to use tactics, as I've said, right? Well, maybe one tactic you can use a little bit of it, and then you throw away the rest because it doesn't work for you. I'll give you a historical example, but then I'm going to talk about myself, though. I want to talk about why I had to change it, and it was difficult. So a lot of people don't realize that the Roman legions, they did use the phalanx for a very, very short period of time. When the Latins, the early Romans, when the Latins were fighting the Veii in the Veii wars, when they were consolidating basically the area of Middle Italy, okay? So they were consolidating Rome and those sorts of places like that, okay? And when they were fighting the Veii, so the Romans had just broke off, had just kicked out the last king of England. I almost said England. The last king of Rome, the Roman Republic, okay? Or Roman Kingdom. Brutus, the original Brutus, Junius Brutus, kicked out the last king of what is his name? God, what is the guy's name? He built the walls. Servius, okay? So they kicked them out, but then they were still at war with the Etruscans. The Veii were part of them, okay? And they were never going to be left alone, right? Because the rest of Italy saw that, the Romans decided to form a republic and not a kingdom. Well, what if other people decide to do that? So they ended up going to war with these people. They both used a form of the phalanx. If you guys don't understand anything about military tactics, I'll just try to give the least difficult example I can give you. The word phalanx is where the word phalanges comes from. Okay? Fingers. And that's why the spears were outwards like that. Okay? They were impenetrable from the front. And Alexander proved to them that the reason why the armies were so kick-ass is because those spears, those giant spears, and they were giant spears, were 20 feet long. 20 feet long. Okay? Well, the Romans discovered a fatal flaw in the phalanx. Not on purpose. Because the Ve used the phalanx, and so did the Romans. The phalanx could not be, well, the phalanx easily, now that they knew from Thermopylae, that phalanx cannot be flanked. If it is flanked, it's over. It's an impenetrable unit from the front, only from the front, not from the sides, not from the back. Okay? And a single weak point in that phalanx destroys the phalanx. The phalanx shatters. Okay? Because the shield isn't for you. The shield is for your partner that's beside you. Okay? But the Romans discovered another fatal flaw. An army that has phalanx units in them, it is impossible to fight as a phalanx unit on unbroken ground. In other words, they had to have a perfect battlefield to have some of those battles in Greece and other places. In the Roman mountains, Denise, you've been to Rome. There are mountains in Italy. Right by, it was not a flat space, right? Well, they discovered that it ain't gonna work. Well, they immediately had to redesign their armies. Okay, the Romans did. Now the Ve kept to the phalanx, but the Romans decided to create what they called the maniple system. They created a new version, literally a new version of army. They scrapped the phalanx very quickly, and then thus was born the Roman legions. And they affectionately called the phalanx, the maniple system, a phalanx with joints. Nice way of saying it is virtually, it made it impossible to fully flank a Roman army. Okay? Now after this, the Romans, as time went by, the Romans began to conquer and everything. The Hannibal happened, and then they went to Greece and they easily conquered Greece. They easily ran through Greece. Okay? They ran through Greece like a freaking laxative. And then they went over and took Turkey. So Rome quickly expanded after the defeat of Hannibal. Okay? And Rome at this point had all this experience with all these different types of units, but everybody in the world still used phalanx units, even Egypt. Remember? Ptolemy was a general of Alexander the Great. So the Ptolemaic Egypt was in existence. That's why, Cleopatra was the last of the Ptolemies. Okay? Right? The Romans never fought a battle, except for the civil wars, of course. That's the only exception. Only during their civil wars, whenever they would fight each other, were the battles ever even. The Romans were always outnumbered 3 to 4 to 5 to 1 in every battle they ever fought. How did they beat them? They ruled the world, guys. How did they beat them? Discipline and just pure want to. Can you imagine? Just imagine for yourself, just for a second. You're a barbarian unit, you're a Gallic unit, and you outnumber the Romans 5 to 1, and you keep hitting them, and they just keep coming, and they don't stop like a wave. It's like I've never been to the ocean, but people who have been to the ocean can tell you this. It's like waves after waves after waves, and the Romans never stopped. They never stopped, and they would wear them down, just beat them down, and they would stay disciplined. It was amazing. Historians found out that because they always had this question about, like, why didn't the Romans ever suffer battle fatigue? That's a real thing. Battle fatigue is when you have done a lot of killing and you're just at war all the time. Well, they discovered that Romans had a unique thing, okay? And especially after the Marius reforms, where the classical Roman legions, where they changed it from the maniple system to the cohort system, which was even more powerful. where they had, it was just an amazing army, okay? I know everything there is to know about the Roman legions. I love that shit, okay? Because it's so amazing to watch such discipline. You know what I'm saying? But what they discovered was they had this whistle. It's a type of like a whistle, like a referee whistle, and they would and the first whole line would go behind it, all the way to the back, and they'd come, and they kept rolling it forward. So I think there were like 5 or 6 or 7, maybe even up to 8 lines deep. So when the barbarians would hit, boom, they'd hit, fight them, and they'd whistle, boom, and they'd go to the back, and they'd have another fresh unit, all the time. That's why they were able to do that. They kept having fresh bodies in there against exhausted barbarians who sometimes didn't even attack with order. Sometimes they would just attack because they had what they call God, what the hell they call, where basically they drug them up. A lot of Celtic armies had this, where they drug them up, and they drink this tonic stuff, and it makes them violent. And they will literally fight to the death. Literally, they will fight, and you have to kill them all. Okay? Berserker. That's it. The Germans and the Celtics had berserker units. And their whole entire job was to literally act crazy as hell, and they would wear these crazy horns, and they would look like demons and look like things from the mist. Warfare was awful back then. But the reason why I talk about the Roman legions a lot is because, well, Christianity is compared to the Roman legions. A lot of people don't realize that. See, it's from a Christian perspective, what does it mean to be a part of the Lord's army? What does that exactly mean? We go out and fight? No, that's what the Catholics believe. They believe that we actually were supposed to fight the enemy. No. It's what I'm trying to teach you guys. And working as a team has not always been easy for me, because you have to trust your partners. You have to trust the one person next to you. You have to trust that they're not going to run from battle. You have to trust that they're going to take the training, that they're not going to argue with you tooth and nail about why everything has to be. Sometimes orders just need to be followed, especially in a dangerous situation. Okay? Take the relationship between me and Dwan. To get to where me and Dwan got to, the really sad part about the whole relationship between me and Dwan is I have known Dwan since the year 2000. And for some of you that, like Tanya, that doesn't know my story as well, I met Dwan Jackson in a Catholic Charities in the year 2000. I taught him the Bible. We talked about the Bible all the time. I brought him to Christ. And back then I was a different person. I was trying to be good, but I was trying to be a good person, but I still didn't understand my disorder. And you know what's funny? I was not diagnosed with PTSD yet. It would have been helpful to be, but had I been diagnosed with that earlier. I wasn't diagnosed until 2005, and a whole lot had happened between then and then. Okay? But as I understand everything now about myself, which is something I also am teaching you guys, you got to understand yourself. Well, back in the day, I didn't trust people. And the trust got worse and worse until I didn't trust anyone. I sure as hell didn't talk about my emotions back then. I didn't carry any of the ingredients that I talk about. No want to, no venting, no taking advice. I sure as hell didn't think about anything that people talked to me about. And I sure as hell never thought I had anybody really on my side, so I always thought I was alone. So I never carried an ingredient. I sure as hell didn't follow any steps. I didn't clean my house. I didn't fill my house with good things. I didn't do things that were inside my box that I knew I was good at. Which means that I sure as hell didn't go outside my box and do things that I'd never done. And I sure as hell didn't assess the situation. So I had to carry no ingredients. I followed no steps. I didn't do anything that I teach you guys. Nothing. Not one thing. And that lack of trust caused me to lose a lot of people in my life. To this day, there are people that don't want to see this, what I'm doing here, and they will always see me as that. It wasn't evil. I just was hard to deal with. I'm still hard to deal with, but I was really hard to deal with. I was a shell of myself. And then I was shattered in 2005. And then Sophia picked, like I always say, and I'm going through this because some people on here don't know me as well. Then Sophia picked me up like a puppy and forced me to look inward. You have to look inward first before you're going to help a single soul. Sorry. And that means you're going to have to deal with your issues. You're going to have to deal with your problems. You're going to deal with your stuff. You have to get a thick shell, because there are going to be people that aren't going to see it. Now, it's up to you to change it. It's up to them to see it. Now, some people have begun to see it. People from my past. But some people will never see it. And I had to get my mind around that. I had to get my mind around that no matter how hard you try, Daryl, you're not going to be everyone's taste. Even though I'm saying good things, even though I'm trying to do what I can to help people get through things and to be a friend to people, not everybody wants that. Some people just are done with it. They don't want to trust. They don't want to. And remember, trust is based upon time, consistency, and repetition, which means I don't expect you to trust me when you first get to know me. What it does mean, however, okay, is that over a period of time, are my words and are my actions the same as they were 6 months ago, a year ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? You can go back through all my videos, and even if I was rough, a little rougher, talking like this, you can go back and my message has been consistent the entire time. That I have not changed it. I've tweaked some things. Like, I'm not so harsh on medicines. I was a little harsh on medicines, I'll be honest with you. And I definitely used, on my actual videos, I did curse a lot more. I don't curse on my actual videos like that anymore. I don't do that. But on my lives, yeah, I'll say my mind, especially I want you guys to see who I am. This is a live video. But how do you trust what I say? That takes time. I'm not asking you to put your life in my hands. I'm asking you to take your life in your own hands. People just get it so messed up. And when I was younger, if you guys want to understand how hard it was for me to trust people, how hard it was for me to trust people as a teammate, to put something in someone else's hands that I think I can do better. It's not about me doing better. It's about, Daryl, you can only handle so much. I didn't care. Do you know what I actually said to somebody once? I actually said this to several people. I don't know if Dwan remembers I said this. Do you know what I actually said to people? I don't know if I said it out of a manic high or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I used to tell people I want to get a doctor's degree in every subject you can get a doctor's degree in. That's how much I love learning. Well, first of all, let's just get a few things straight. That's not an achievable goal because the amount of time that it would take to do that. I'm not willing to live long enough. But I had dreams at one time, and then eventually it was snuffed out. Even when I was homeless for the first time, I didn't lose that fire for a little bit. But then I did. And I really didn't trust anybody then. I don't know. I can't tell you what actually helped me trust Sophia. I don't know. Maybe because she was the only person that wanted to even talk to me. Maybe that, because, she's my best friend. And Dwan is 1B. Sophia's 1A, Dwan's 1B. That's why Dwan will be living with me when we get our own place in the springtime. Sophia will be up in Minnesota. But even 1,000 miles away, I know that if something were to ever happen to me, I know Sophia would get on a freaking plane and be her ass down here. Because she's my teammate, not just my friend. She wants the best for me, and she wants the best for what I'm doing. She believes in everything we're doing here now. Oh, it was hard to get her on board. Because I had, she's been through hell with me. She saved me. I was a loner for the first 6, 7, 8 years of knowing her. Because I had to work on myself. Because I was a mess. I was a steaming hot pile of mess. And so when I look at you guys and I say, I trust you. I trust that I believe it. I believe in your abilities. You need to understand what that actually means coming out of my mouth. So some of you don't. That this thing that me and Dwan are doing, and now Sophia and even Denise will be moving. Denise is looking at AI for me from Brazil. She doesn't even live here, man. She lives in Brazil, dude. She'll be moving into the United States in about a couple years, 2, 3 years. I don't know. Whenever she gets everything in order there, but she'll be here. In fact, next year she will have already left by then. She'll be here for about a month. About April, May, something like that. She doesn't want to be too hot. She don't want to be too cold either, so springtime is probably the best. But I trust Denise because she is showing herself to be a worthy friend, a worthy person that I can trust to do what I ask her to do. Not because I'm demanding, but because she knows it ain't for me. She knows that it's necessary. The people that really know what's going on here, they know that when I ask something, it's never for me. Like, I'm not asking you to change for me. I'm asking you to change for yourself. Being a team, we have to work. Not everybody's going to have the same talents. And I am the one who came up with this. I tried to share as much as I can out of my mind to you guys so that you guys understand how I think. But that's not an easy thing sometimes. You guys act like I can just tell you guys everything, I have to take it one step at a time. Once this thing is done, then I can think about the next step. You don't looking at the whole picture all at one time, it's overwhelming. No, you guys start with yourself, and that's what I did long before you guys ever met me. And now I want to take that knowledge and I want to give to you guys, because there are things going on right now that are dark things. That at some point, some of these things are going to rear its ugly head, and you're going to be like, I cannot believe that happened in the United States. And I'm going to tell you, I told you so. I know things. I know things that I'm not going to say on here. But there are dark things going on, and I fear for my family. I fear for you guys. Again, for you guys that don't know, I don't have a family. My friends are my family. They mean more to me than anything. Every one of y'all. And I thank you for coming to my lives and listening to me blabber on about stuff. But I truly mean everything from my heart when I do it. And it bothers me when I do get argumentative people, not because I get irritated with that anyways, but I can ignore that for the most part, to be honest. It's when I'm trying to tell you something, or trying to tell a person something that is good for them, and they're arguing with me tooth and nail about it. I loathe when I give a person evidence of certain things. Okay, I'm about to sneeze, y'all. Excuse me. 1 second. I love having a cough button on my mic. Isn't that nice? Anyway, but I it's because it's not about, because especially when a message is so important to a person that I'm trying to give to a person. When a person's fighting me tooth and nail, it's like, dude, don't you understand what I'm trying to do? And then on top of it, certain people get mad, okay, and then they start slinging slings at me as if like I did something bad, without even knowing how hard I work here. Like, you don't even know. And that's all I ever think about. You know, I think about how to make these better, and how are me and Dwan going to, at some point, I mean, it'll be ways away, but how are me and Dwan going to, at some point, go get some land, put a building on it that says Noir Polar Gaming on it? Because I want counselors, a lot of counselors. I want to hire counselors. I don't want this just to be some YouTube channel. It never was supposed to be just that. But there'll be, like, there's plans to have 4 more YouTube channels. With what time? That's why I need to hire people. I need a team of people that believe in other people. There's some people hurting bad, y'all. They're hurting bad financially. And if you're waiting to rely on the government and stuff, you're going to be waiting a long time. You got to rely on yourself. You got to be self-reliant. And then you got to not be so self-reliant that you don't rely on anyone else either. Because there's only 24 hours in a day. Maybe something needs to be done. It needs to be done now, and it has to be done fast. Well, are you a road runner? Sophia's a road runner. I know she is. That's an inside joke, y'all. Sophia thinks she's a road runner. She thinks she's the road runner from Looney Tunes. She goes, so stupid. But you're not the Flash. You can't do things like that. You do have to have help. And yes, that means like I have to be clarified in exactly what I need to be done. Okay, because like if I'm trying to do something, whatever it may be. So let's say, okay. So I say, okay, Denise. So I'll use everybody that's on here that's on the chat. So I say, Denise, I need you to go to Best Buy. I need to go pick up something, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I need Tanya to go to help me work on some graphic design stuff. I need to record some stuff. Lori, I need you to run my social media while I do all this stuff. That's a team. We all have one goal, and that's to get whatever the hell it is done. Now, if you do it a certain way, and I know it isn't right, you can't get mad at me for telling you, no, you need to do this differently over here next time. But there are sensitive people in the world today now, and they get mad over stuff like that. And I get called narcissistic from people. And it wasn't just the one person. There's been several people to try to accuse me of that. A boss is not narcissistic for being a boss. He's narcissistic for demanding things that are out of his realm. In other words, if a boss has never done something before, yeah, you don't have a reason to trust him. Everything that I tell you guys and that I would ever ask of you, I've done myself. So, for example, right now, I ask you to just do your ingredients, follow your step. You understand? Because I did it. Be different. Go outside your box. Discover yourself. Don't be ashamed of yourself. And you will be a better person. I'll bet everybody on here right now a steak dinner. You want to bet? And I got the money for that at least. Of course, you'd be taking out my retirement, my Roth IRA. It's not really my retirement. It's more like my safety net when Sophia leaves, but still. I got money for steak dinners if y'all want to bet me. Follow your ingredients. Do your steps. And see if you ain't changed. Give me 2 years. I'll buy everybody here a freaking steak dinner. Straight up. That's how confident I am. Because you being successful makes me happier than you'll ever know. Watching a person, Dwan Jackson, watching him be different is the greatest glory I've ever experienced. He is so awesome now. I'm not saying he wasn't awesome before, but he had a low self-esteem. People had never treated him right. They was treating him like, oh, poor little dumb Dwan. Oh, poor Dwan, he has a cerebral palsy. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay? How you doing, Kathy? Do you understand what I'm saying? Dwan is an amazing man. He has almost as amazing story as mine. His is different. His is sad. A lot of, especially at the beginning of his life before I ever met him. His childhood wasn't great. His family life wasn't great. His family life still isn't great. I am his brother, and you ask him who his brother is. It's me. He loves me, I love him. And we'll be staying with each other starting in springtime. But you understand that he has half a body, right? Right. And so he walked 8 miles. That when I show that video to you guys, he walked 8 miles with half a body in hot weather in the June. Probably could have killed him, to be honest with you, because we didn't realize at that time he had a heart condition, a bad one too. In fact, he went to the hospital twice, and he's just been diagnosed. He's still trying to understand what's going on with his mental state. He just got diagnosed last fall with major depression. Well, so I'm helping him with that because having bipolar disorder, you know. And so I'm helping him understand depression and understand how he can get through it. And like he had some very pointed questions, like why does he feel worse when there's no sun outside? Why does he hurt more sometimes? He hurts more because of depression. It's straight up true. It's like a chicken and egg kind of thing. Depression can cause pain to happen, and pain can cause depression to happen. So you just gotta watch for those things. But like one of the lives we did a couple months ago, he got off the bus and he met me, and it was one of the lives that me and Dwan did together, and we brought that up because it's a pointed question, and you have to know not just your strengths, but you do have to know your weaknesses. You have to know that you're weak in this area, so you watch, because your enemy is never going to attack you on your strength. They're always going to attack you on your enemy. I don't care if you're a Christian or you're talking about Satan. That's how Satan works. Satan is never going to attack you head on. Never. Satan will always attack my alcoholism. He will always attack it. Because even though I'm stronger than I've ever been, y'all need to understand something. I could go across the hall right now, talk to Lori, who is on here right now, by the way, and she can verify this. I can go over right now, and she doesn't like doing it, but she's not going to stop me. If I go over right now and say, hey, Lori, I need some vodka, I'm in pain, she would do it. You know, I told Sophia this. I was in the car. We went to go get a limeade from Brahms, and I told Sophia, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But see, when I'm in pain, and if I don't have any pain medicines or something like that, it gets awful. It gets awful to even want to exist. And so the only thing that I ever can think of is liquor. It's the only thing that works. Nothing else works. Not kratom, nothing. And so I try to stay away from that. So when I know that I'm going to run out of payments, I try to have alternative stuff, things like that. Kratom. I don't do THC stuff. Can't stand THC, but I do like this. See that? Sophia got that for free at the Kratom store. So I do have stuff as alternatives. Okay, but if it gets too bad, I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize to anybody. I'm not going to sit here and paint. I'm not going to get much work done. I get maybe an hour work done before I'm a little too intoxicated to watch the screen. Then I go to bed. Those time periods are awful, and I'm not proud of that. But I'm also not going to sit there and act like it doesn't happen. But the days where I hated my life so badly, that I hated everything so badly, are over. I don't hide my life anymore. I love who I am. I love my life, and I love the fact that I can come on here and I can share my experiences with you guys and teach the lessons I've taught, so you don't have to make those mistakes. So I don't like it when people argue with me about certain things. It's like, dude, I've already done it. I'm not asking you to do anything that's abnormal. Yeah, if I was asking you to, I don't know, go out and kill a lion or something, that'd be one thing, but I don't. I don't ask things that's over the top. I just want you to be better as people. And this isn't a mental illness thing. Being a team is being a team. I know that I can go across the hall and say, Lori, I need to talk. If Sophia's asleep in there, I don't have her to talk to. I can say right now, Lori, I need to talk. I need to vent. She'll be out in a minute, as long as she ain't asleep. And if that's not the case, I can wait till 10 o'clock and Dwan will be off work. That's why the fifth ingredient is you're not alone. I swim with sharks. Hey, there's my boy. But y'all understand that's the deal with that. Yeah, it's Lori. That's why, and I'm the same way for y'all. Lori tells me all sorts of stuff. She has moments where she gets emotional. So that's the point, man. She's got weaknesses. I've got weaknesses. You've got weaknesses. But then again, we have strengths too. My strength could be her strength. Her strength could be my strength, so forth and so on. Me and Dwan. Hey, Dwan, you better tell him the truth. Me and Dwan have the greatest pick and roll you've ever seen in your life, and I don't mean basketball, baby. I mean, he knows how to freaking act around me. He knows how to roll with me on camera. He knows, because that's my boy. That's my brother, man. He's an awesome human being. That's thank you, Dwan. Very good statement. Absolutely wonderful statement. Wonderful statement. Good job, Dwan. That's right. Yeah, I know for real. Man, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing on us. Because we learned. And Dwan, let's just be honest, Dwan, since you're on here. Dwan wasn't used to it at first. And I wasn't used to Dwan at first. Not when he first started staying here. You guys got to understand that we were friends for 20 years and didn't know a damn thing about each other's past. How shameful. There is nothing in this earth that would ever break the bond between me and Dwan. And if you think you could ever go behind my back, tell Dwan something in secret to try to get over on me, good luck. Because you ain't going to do that with me. Because I know my brother. He knows me now. He knows whether or not you're lying and you're trying to be deceitful to him. That's a team. I never had that in my life before. That's right, Dwan. The streets don't, streets are awful, man. And people don't understand that. And so when you go through those sorts of things, it's not an easy thing to talk about. But, you know, me and Dwan both we honestly, me and Dwan do feel ashamed of that. You know, we feel ashamed that it took us 20 years to really talk to each other. I didn't know the stuff about his dad. I didn't know the stuff about his family. I didn't know the stuff about none of it. And it was Sophia who pointed out that maybe he has a low self-esteem. I never saw Dwan like that. When you start knowing your weaknesses and your strengths, you're going to be a better team. I can't help you if you're not going to tell me your weaknesses. And if you're going to, excuse me, I just burp talked. If you're going to tell me that you don't have anything wrong with you, you're lying. And if you're a Christian, we have a word. There's a verse for that. He who says he is without sin is a liar, and God is not in him. Yeah. And so, sorry, the chat is behind, or way behind. So I'm responding to things that are way behind. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't know either. But look, the way me and Dwan, for example, strengthen each other is through our knowledge. Our knowledge, not of things, of each other. That's the first thing. Then comes knowledge of things. And then comes knowledge of the outside world. Until you do, that is the order procession. That is the order procession. You worry about yourself, then you can worry about your immediate family. And then you can worry about the things outside your immediate family. I'm now going beyond the immediate family part of it. And there are people I'm meeting right now that may end up being part of this family too. Good people, man. I haven't met a real bad person. I haven't met anybody bad. I have met people that have no manners and think they can treat me a certain way. Those people aren't going to be in my life. I'm sorry, they just aren't. And I don't want them around you guys either, because that's distracting. I want to be here to teach you guys what I learned, to show you guys what I learned, to show you guys how not to do the bad things that I did. And I wasn't evil. I was just messed up in the head. But I didn't know who I was. But you have to have a team. You're not going to do this alone. And doing it alone is also very, very unwise. It's foolish. It's for the foolhardy. There is no such thing, for example, from a Christian perspective, there is no such thing. Yeah. There's no such thing as a rogue Christian in heaven. I'm sorry. You're not going to walk around this earth thinking you're a rogue Christian and God's going to accept you in there. You did not do what you were supposed to do. I'm sorry. Just the way it is. Now, if you're not a Christian, you're not going to get that. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. I mean, it's a religious subject, so I don't care if you do. But as far as what we're doing here and how we're trying to help people, that's right. It's self-sabotage. Good job, Dwan. That's true. Excuse me, guys. Hold on a second. Sorry that the chat is behind like that. I'm responding a little later than you guys probably want me to. But I know that I need help. Hey, Dwan, listen to what song just came on. That's amazing. That's the second night in a row. That's crazy, man. Excuse me. That's crazy, man. Y'all, that's crazy. Hey, Dewan. I know, right? Like, dude, there's a second night in a row that's happened. Second night in a row. Anyway, if y'all don't understand why we're that. That's the song, dude. That's the whole song. Anyway, I know that. I'm sorry. I want to listen to the song. I know that you guys sometimes get confused why this is so important to me. Because in reality, it is very confusing. But I'm not here for myself. I'm here for you. Everything I do is for you. I know that sounds corny, but it's not. It's just true. It's the truth. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're by yourself, and just know that I will always be here. Yeah, I know, right? I love it. I love this song. But I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to let you guys go on this note. Okay? We are all together. One spirit, one mind. That's what we're doing. We're one. We're not in the socialist perspective. Socialists, they talk like that too. One people. Yeah, people is in plural. 1 plus 1. One person plus one person is still two people. Not one person. We have to learn how to work together. And we all are starting to. This is running a lot smoother. But more than that, there are things coming, especially in my country, that even Dwan doesn't understand. Dwan and I haven't had a chance to talk. And I am so fearful for the future of my country. I am absolutely fearful for the future of my business, my money, those sorts of things. And thank God I live in Texas, or I'd be fearful of my life. And I'm fearful for so fear going 1,000 miles away. I've got a lot of things I'm scared of right now. So I want to be strong, and so I don't talk about these things all the time. But me and Dwan, we try to do our best to try to get the message out correctly. That there's a message that everybody can consume, and no one feels like that they're being left out. And you're right, Lori. We're not the Borg. However, there's one little change I would change to that. It's the other side that is. They are. And resistance is futile. That's their philosophy. They are. Oh, I was going to tell you guys something the other day when I was talking about socialism. You guys ever want to know what their agenda is? Their agenda is Star Trek. They want this beautiful world. You know, Earth in the Star Trek universe is perfect. They haven't had war in 1,000 years, 100 years, hundreds of years. No war, peace. They call it paradise. But if you actually understand the history of Star Trek in their own universe, do you know even how they got that peace and the harmony, that socialist utopia, as it were? That's really what it is. They're having the worst bloody World War III you've ever seen in your life. Many people died. Millions upon millions of people died. A lot of people don't really think about that. To get a socialist, to get a utopia where everyone is at one and everyone agrees with one another and no one resists, the only way to get that is through death, destruction, murder, and just outright awfulness. You cannot get a socialist government without killing the other half. Because you're never going to shut my mouth. You're never going to shut Glenn Beck's mouth. You would have to remove every Bible on this planet. And they kind of did in the Star Trek universe. There's no religion. They're pretty much science-based. You would have to get rid of every Bible. You would have to definitely get rid of the Constitution. You'd have to erase everyone's memory hole everything, as it were, you know, Orwellian 1984 or 3 or whatever the hell it's called. George Orwell. They call it memory holing. It's an Orwellian term. And the whole premise of the book is that these people they lived in a dystopian world where the world didn't even remember about their past. There was no memory about their past, because every time that there would be a new piece of evidence to show that the facts were wrong, that they were making up facts, they would memory hole it. They would have a hole where they put all of the facts inside this hole. Yeah, that's it, 1984. And they put it all in this hole, and so it's a political term. That's what's going on right now. They're trying to memory hole Kamala. They're memory holding Kamala right now. There's an entire generation right now that believes that she's just fine. No, she didn't really say that. You ought to be fearful of that. Trump may not win now. They've gotten rid of her past. They've even changed his. They're going onto the computer and changing his stuff. Okay, and the idea being that to get that universe, to get that world, they have to either memory hole stuff, and those who actually remember and those who continue to fight, they will freaking destroy you. That's their plan. They don't care about you. If you don't want to go along with the status quo, they don't care. The Borg didn't care either. The Borg didn't care. Socialists don't care. I don't care whether we're talking about fantasy or reality. Where the hell do you think that Gene Roddenberry got that concept of the Borg? He knew history. The idea of convincing an entire Germans, I'm talking about back in World War II, entire nation that no, there's no Jews being murdered. No, there's no Jews being murdered. Oh, no. All the while just murdering. And like I said a couple days ago, one of my favorite stories from World War II is when the Allied forces, the Americans, came across Auschwitz. And they let the women out. There's women in there, none of them, no men. And they were, of course, skin and bones, and they were allowed to go into the town next to them. and go in front of the women that lived in that town and say, look at what you have done. Look at what you have done. So just because you don't actually do the act, don't mean you didn't do it. Shutting your mouth, you did. You're complicit. You still go to jail if you're outside of a convenience store and the driver of the car went into a convenience store and robbed the place. They're gonna put time on you, man. That's why we have to work as a team to make sure that we are being wise as serpents and gentle as dove. We don't go to war with people. I didn't say let people slap us around now, and I ain't saying none of that. But this world has changed. This isn't the world that you were living in even the 90s, y'all. And I always say, wake the hell up, but I mean it. Come out of the fog, man. Come out of the fog, like I always say, come out of the fog. Because this fog is poisonous. It's going to kill you. This ain't clouds. You know what? I've just decided something right now. I'm going to change that graphics at the beginning, and instead of the clouds, it'll be clouds like that, but it's going to be colored green. Oh, really? That's cool, Lori. But my point is, I want you guys to come out of the fog, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going into the fog, back into the fog, going back into my memories to try to help you come out of the fog. I'm doing the research. I know Lori's got to go to work. I know Denise has got other things to do. You guys don't have to do it. I'm doing it for you. Now, then, when I come on here, then listen. And then go look everything I'm saying up. We have to work as a team, y'all. Everybody does. But it starts with working on your self. So think about that, okay? You guys have a good night's sleep. Be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there, right? Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Be understanding that you have limits. That you are not God. You cannot do everything by yourself. And don't make yourself feel bad if you can't do something one day, right? If you don't got it, you don't got it. If you don't have the time, you don't have the time, right? That's why I told Denise last night, go to bed. If she has to go to bed, it's too late, it's okay. Just let me know beforehand, Remember, life is fleeting. You are not promised your next breath. So take now to change the things, go outside your box, learn some new things. You never know what you might find out about yourself. All right? And until tomorrow, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.